Hi, my name is Tristan from the CPAPstore.ca. Today we're going to be looking at the Philips DreamStation 2 as well as the ResMed AirSense 11 and just comparing both CPAP machines and seeing which one you might want to get. So these are both the latest CPAP machines from two of the biggest companies in the market. They're going to complete your CPAP therapy roughly the same. They're both going to humidify the air, they're both going to have ramp settings, they're both going to have the algorithms needed to make sure that you're having a healthy sleep and a healthy CPAP therapy. So this is more just going to be looking at the design and how your preferences might dictate which one is right for you. So starting with appearance, both are a very nice, sleek design. They both kind of went different ways on how they wanted the design. So the Philips here has the screen up top, touch screen up top. The AirSense has the screen up front there. Both have the power buttons at their top. Based on their front view, the AirSense is a little, fat and skinny, whereas this one's skinny and fat. So it's kind of, they went different areas with the dimensions. And you can also see that with the cases as well. So this is what the case of the DreamStation looks like. And this is the case of the ResMed AirSense 11. So it takes up a lot larger footprint when we look at the top. By the side, it's skinnier. So depending on how you want to pack out these, or if you travel a lot, this might make a difference for you. Just a note though, I think the ResMed case does seem a little bit better quality. I like the grips, or just like the detailing here on the strap. I think the inside is nice laid out, but as a whole, as an overall whole in terms of usability, I think that the size and shape of the DreamStation case is a little bit better. They did leave a little more room in it. So with the AirSense 11, when I put all the stuff, the tube, the machine into the case, I find that the mask is, especially if you have a full face mask, it is kind of squished in there. Whereas I feel that with the DreamStation bag, there is a little more leeway, a little more flexibility with putting different items in that bag. When looking at appearance, both are sleek. I have a DreamStation here. This is the original DreamStation 1. Definitely looks a lot more medical, but this was a great machine, I guess, up until the recall. But it had lots of great features, very easy to use, big power button, but did look very, very, I guess, medical in a sense. Of course, these are medical devices, but you might want to have your CPAPs to kind of blend in with your bedroom decor a little bit more than something like this. And I think the two new models definitely accomplish that. In terms of weight, both are pretty similar. Let me just unplug these and we can weigh them right here. So on this scale, which could be a little off compared to what you might see on the internet, but at least it gives you a really good comparison. The AirSense is coming in at 1,140 grams, whereas the DreamStation is about 100 grams lighter at 1,046 grams. Overall size and shape, you might see advertisement that one's 10% slimmer than the other, but just side by side, I mean, on your nightstand, they are gonna be taking up roughly the same amount of room. Okay, so there's not gonna be a huge difference there. Now in terms of just breakdown usability, let's go through each one. So ResMed, we have a touchscreen up front. On the side, we have where the SD card would go. Okay. On the back, we have where the filters are. You don't have to take out any chambers. They're just all right there, easy to use. And the water chamber or water tank pulls out like that. I do like the clamshell nature and how it is hinged on there. Less things that you could drop. Of course, people who have CPAPs, a lot of the demographic is in that older demographic, and just having something that isn't gonna drop and as few pieces as possible is nice. Okay, it feels really rock solid. You can hear no jiggling, pretty rock solid there. With the Philips, there's a little bit more wiggle, okay? We have the power button up top. We have the water chamber right here. Okay, you press the button, comes out nice and smooth. You have to take the water chamber out to access where the SD card would go and where the filters would go. With the Philips, you have basically two filters, a disposable filter. This one you change once every 4 weeks or every 30 nights. And this one here, you want to change every 6 months, but you do need to wash this once a week. All right, let's look at the water chamber. So this water chamber, unfortunately, is not hinged. Okay, so it kind of falls off. As you can see, if you don't have a firm grip on it, like on the side here, it kind of jumps up. So if you're not ready for that, it might fall. And again, then you'd have to pick it up and stuff like that. So just make sure that you have a firm grip on this lid when you're taking it off. But relatively same. I do like the colored max markers for the water there. Now, the DreamStation holds a little bit less water at 325 mils, whereas the AirSense holds 380 mils. So if you are consuming a lot more water, this is something that you might want to consider. So let's turn both on and see what it looks like here. So this one's a little harder to showcase on this view of camera, but I must say that I think that the ResMed screen is a little more bold. The fonts they chose are a little easier to read, and I do like the responsiveness of the touch screen. The touch screen is much more what you would almost get on a smartphone. It feels like there's no lag, and it's just pretty simple to go through. The menu on the Philips, I think I do like a little bit better in terms of how it's laid out and how things are easy to find. You just click settings and everything is there. There's no 3 options. There's just settings, and you go back and you get your last session. That's all there is to it. So it's really easy. The downside though is that the touchscreen is a little bit more finicky. So you do have to press everything for 1 second. But once you get used to pressing everything for 1 second and holding your finger down, you do not have that lag. So ramp, hold down for 1 second, and then it's good to go. Flex, hold down for 1 second, then it's good to go. So it's never a problem. And as you can see, I just kind of click that back without holding it down and nothing happens, okay? You just have to hold it down and then it's good to go. So I don't know why they have that lag there. Maybe they put that leg in, they needed people to be a little more decisive in what they're clicking, and perhaps elderly people who are not as used to touch screens were kind of touching everything and it was going everywhere, or that's just a lag of the device. For me, someone who uses touchscreens on a regular basis, I do feel that this does feel like it lags and it is harder to use. Now, in terms of the display itself, as you can see, one's on the front, one's on the top. Depending on how you use your CPAP, this could be a big factor. When you roll over in your bed, you can clearly see the screen right there. You can change the humidity and you're good to go. With the Philips, however, you would kind of have to get up a little bit and arch yourself over to use the touchscreen. However, most of the time when you're setting up your mask, when you're setting up your humidity throughout the day, or like right before you go to bed, you're probably sitting on your bed and going through it. And in which case, the screen on the top is actually a little nicer to use. Also, if you have a CPAP, specific nightstand where the CPAP machine goes, slides into the drawer, when you slide it, out of that drawer, the screen being on the top could be easier. Whereas this, you might have to pull it out to change the settings. Other than that, they're both gonna operate fairly similarly. The Philips does have one additional feature, which is the ramp, Ramp Plus. Both CPAP machines will be able to ramp your starting pressure from low to high, from low to your prescribed pressure to help you fall asleep a little bit quicker. However, Philips does allow you to select that starting pressure. So you can select the starting pressure to go up to your selected prescribed pressure. Now in terms of the tubes, ResMed has this Climate Line Air 11 tube, comes with the CPAP. So obviously Climate Line is their heated tubing. And then the Philips has this just standard, very standard tubing that comes with it, but you can get the Philips heated tubing as well for $75. Price wise, I mean, both machines are very similar. I think from what I see for most retailers, the ResMed is a little bit more. So even if you buy the $75 heated hose for the Philips, they're both gonna be fairly similarly priced. Now let's just turn both on and see if there's a noise level difference. I can tell you straight away that there is very minimal difference, but I'm gonna give it a go just so you can hear it. So let's try the ResMed first. Okay, and let's try the DreamStation. but I can tell you just from sitting here, very, very, very minimal difference in terms of noise. When you get to a smaller machine, for example, like the ResMed Mini for travel, you can definitely hear a much louder noise on a smaller machine, but two machines like this, very, very similar. Overall, I can't really recommend one machine over the other. Both have their pros and cons. Both have a nice sleek look. Both touchscreens work, are operational, have great settings. The ResMed is gonna have more additional features with the app. They do have a fantastic app, so if you are inclined to, try to check everything with your CPAP and, go on your phone and really set that up and get it dialed in, then the ResMed might be a little bit easier with that app. But both, again, have great apps, great device support, great Bluetooth connectivity support. Both are easy to use, so it's kind of up to you for your design preference and maybe what masks and accessories you might want, but both, I believe, are great machines. If you want more information on CPAP machines, feel free to subscribe. We have videos on all sorts of CPAP equipment, and check us out at thecpapstore.ca.